Hey guys, welcome back to Buck Brothers Podcast. This is episode 4. Just want to give a big shout out to all of our followers and supporters on TikTok and YouTube or wherever you may be listening to at this time.
Or tuning in.
Yeah, tuning into. Today's April 5th. What are we, about 2 weeks from, about 2 weeks from opening day of turkey season.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait for that.
It's going to be nice.
Man, it's going to be nice. Yeah, we had some fun yesterday, didn't we, Blaine?
Oh, yeah, man. We went on some property that my dad picked up. And, we were, what I'm going to say, we were ass deep in the swamp, that's for sure. we
definitely were.
We were just over there doing some scouting, and we fell in some water holes.
Yeah, it was, well, this little piece that he's got.
We didn't think it was that deep, though.
No, it's 50 acres.
Oh, yeah.
It's 50 acres. But it's a good little spot that he just picked up recently. So we were, removing some stands, and then hopefully the next week or so, we'll be helping him. Well, actually tomorrow,
We're going
to be putting up some cell cams up and just seeing what's back there.
For him, anyways.
For him.
We're not going to be running cell cams.
No, yeah, we won't be hunting over there. We're just helping him out, getting that stuff set up, and then getting some stands. Getting some stands set up for him.
Yep.
But yes, that was a blast.
But yeah, man, it was the water though we were walking in. We didn't think it was that deep.
No, I'm definitely gonna have to get some. I'm gonna definitely have to get me some either hip boots or some waders. It's just waders. We gotta go back and put some more stands in with him. But
yeah.
It
was we stepped in this one spot and it sunk us.
It was 4 foot of water.
4 foot of water.
My dad's only 5'1", so he's a midget.
Yeah, so it took him over.
So he went all the way under pretty much. It was hilarious, man.
Yeah, short man.
That was some funny shit.
But
no, it was fun.
It was a blast.
It was a blast. So yeah, we're gonna be going down to Ohio tomorrow to pull some cameras out that we had down there. Yep. So that'd be kind of cool. But
yeah, because like the last video we said, we're not gonna be running cameras. My dad's gonna. We're all hunting different.
Well, we gotta get all his cameras from down there. He's got quite.
So he's gonna be running some cameras on his private piece. We'll be running the cameras on our private piece. And that's about it. We're not running any cameras anywhere else.
No.
But yeah, guys. So we can get into the video here. We're gonna be doing the goods and the bads of hunting public land.
Kind of just elaborate on what we've came across. Like pros and cons of hunting public land.
I mean, this is how long have we been hunting? About like 4 years now, or 5, or maybe longer. I don't know.
We're going on about 8 years of public.
Yeah.
Hunting public land.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want me to get started on.
Yeah.
I guess we can get into some of the goods or the pros of hunting public land. Me personally, I think a lot of the pros, it's there's where we're from. I mean, where we're at in our area. There's tons of places. I mean, we probably got. I'm not gonna say the names, but we have multiple places. A couple thousand acres each. So
yep, a
I
public.
mean, you're open. you have public hunting land. That's you're able to hunt 8,000 to 10,000 acres.
Yeah.
And a pretty good radius for half-hour radius where we're at.
So that's a good.
Well, it's one of the pros. So just lots of access to public land. And then not really having to pay or pay any extra money for leases or.
And you're not having to
you save a ton of money.
Yeah, and you're not having to sometimes you ain't having to kiss people's ass either.
Yeah.
To hunt, you know what I mean?
No, you're not wrong. Not wrong by any means. I agree 100%. But yeah, I mean that's a pro. I think for me personally, just having more than if you pick up a small lease or something, 50, 60 acres, just having tons of other places to be able to hunt,
and not having to contact the person like, hey, I'm going hunting today. Or I'm going hunting this weekend.
But you just kind of hunt it at your free will.
You just kind of get up and just go hunt it. Yeah, you said your free will. You can just hunt up, get up, go and hunt.
What other pros do you got?
A lot of there's a lot. I feel like there's a little bit more bad than good. I feel like there's good and bad, but I feel like I'm gonna say some of the cons, honestly.
Well, I think one of the pros is a lot of people there are a lot of big bucks on public land where we're at for sure.
And the people don't
and there's a lot of
understand.
overlooked places.
Yep.
And people don't think that there is, but the public areas that we hunt, where we're at, there are
Yep.
some really nice, 3.5 to 4.5-year-old bucks. Whether or not you're gonna get on those deer,
Yeah.
whether or not you're gonna get on those deer, excuse me. That's one thing, but there are some good genes down here in Michigan where we're at.
Yeah, and a lot of people just want to go deep. You don't always have to go deep on some public. I mean, our brother shot a really nice buck. 2 years ago, right off the road.
Which one? Blake.
Yeah,
Blake's,
yeah. 10.
I mean, he's So I guess our older brother Blake. He shot that. Not
It was a 10. It was 2 years ago, wasn't it? Oh, it was no.
Last year?
Last year was his 11 point. I'm talking about the one he shot.
Oh, in 23.
2023. 2023. Yep.
Yeah,
that
he
was
shot
his 10
it
point.
was a 10 point on a public piece, and he was probably
not even 80 yards off the road.
If maybe 50,
80 yards off the road.
Yeah,
so
like
you
not
just
far
don't,
at all.
I don't think you'll be too far.
A lot of people, like on the public
And that was
land,
a really
they
great
want
buck.
to go back as far as you can.
Yep.
And not saying that it's a bad thing. I just don't think you need to all the time.
Yep.
That spot that I found out there in that one little spot.
Yeah.
All those rubs right off the road. Well, I can tell you now. I already know his betting's at. He's betting from where those spots are at, 15 yards off the road. His betting is only probably another 30 yards, 40 yards back.
Yeah.
So this deer is betting max 60 yards off the road.
And he's just watching people drive by, walk by.
Yeah, close to the parking lot.
It's smart, man.
A lot of people, they like I said, they want to go far as you can back, deep as you can in the woods, which sometimes that pays off.
Yeah.
Again, reflecting on Blake, how he hunts. I've watched him shoot bucks 20, 30 yards off the road. I've watched him shoot them 2 miles back in the woods.
Yeah, he's shot.
I guess it
two
kind
of his bucks actually right off the road.
2 of them, yeah.
At the same piece
How many
of
has he got on
public.
public now?
I think he's going on. He's got 4, but he's got 3 really good ones.
He's got three.
Shooters.
I'd say close to Pope and Young's.
Yeah.
If not Pope and Young's.
Yeah.
He's got 3 really nice ones
Yep.
off of public. The last 3 or 4 years in a row he shot.
Yeah, he's been slaying them.
Yeah, that dude's a killer. He's
We're proud of him.
He's an animal.
That's for sure.
But yeah, I feel like that's some of the pros for public. I do believe there are a little more cons than pros for
Yeah,
public.
so I feel like some of the cons are it's really pressured. You got a lot of hunters nowadays that want the challenge. You know what I mean? They want to do that challenge. They want to get out there and try to kill a booner or something off public. You know what I mean?
Or a Pope and Young.
Pope and Young. They're wanting to do that, so they're leaving their private, for like rut or something and hunting public and early season.
Or they save
vice
their
versa.
or they save their piece for rut. But
So that's
I
a
think
bad con right there.
I think the biggest thing is what blew up public land, in my opinion, over the last few years. I'd have to say is hunting public.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They've definitely they blew up the public hunting stuff. They blew it up really big.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at him for it.
Oh, no.
I think it's great. I love
think
hunting
it's great.
public land.
Yep.
Like you said, you ain't gotta kiss people's ass to be able to hunt. You ain't gotta ask a million questions.
No,
You
gotta
can go
ask
out there and
permission,
hunt
nothing. Just go out
and
there.
hang up, whatever stand you want, or do whatever you got to
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's just one of the cons. just
Another
being
con,
pressured and stuff. So
yeah, pressure.
pressure, a
And
lot
then
of
I'd
hunters.
say another con on public land, not be able to, really cut out any trees or really shoot in lanes. You really got to be very, very decisive and picky on
on a tree.
what tree you're going to set up in, because you don't have the ability to cut limbs. And where we're hunting, you can't.
Yeah,
I know people do cut them and they cut shooting lanes, but where we're at, you just don't have that ability. Like it was, versus like a private piece. I could cut shooting lanes everywhere. 360 degrees around me at 60 yards all
Yeah.
the way out. In public you can't. You
Cannot
might
do
have
that.
a shooting lane at 20. You might have one at 40,
Yeah.
and you may only have 1 or 2.
I mean, and we
And-
always talk the max shot we want to take is 25. That's a sweet spot.
That's
Like,
my sweet spot.
You don't want to go. We will shoot. The max we'll ever. I feel like I'll take is about 40.
Yeah, I
mean-
I'm not shooting past 40.
We don't really like to shoot 40, but if we have to, we will. We practice.
I think-
we practice at 60 yards.
Yeah.
and we're shooting softball groups. So we're doing good. So
I think for me, my biggest con on public, that really sucks is if you are using a if you have a mobile setup.
yep.
I feel like you're at a disadvantage. You're at an advantage, obviously, because you're mobile.
Yeah.
But you're also at a disadvantage because, like, so the spots we hunt, there was a spot that I wanted to hunt, and I'm like, well, I don't have a stand that I want to set up because I'm hunting out of a saddle. Well, by the time I go in to hunt that spot, guess what? It's already taken. There's already 15 stands and a 200-yard radius of where I'm wanting to be. So you pretty much.
Yep.
You lose a lot of spots that way. Then, you know what I mean? Or if you do go in and you hunt it in your saddle or your mobile setup stand or whatever you're using, I mean, the chances of you getting bumped are 75%. I think so.
For sure.
What do you think? What do you think the percentages of getting bumped on public
75,
daily?
80%
all
day. I've got bumped a piece that I was hunting. I mean, I was in there hunting and I got set up. A guy comes right in there and he's got a tree stand setting up. Not even 100 and something yards away that I never even seen.
Yeah.
That's, setting up. And they don't take them down either.
Yep.
They'll keep them in all year. They don't take them down, so their spot, they just keep the tree stand setting there all year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you don't really get a turn to hunt it.
That's probably another one of the cons. And then I'd say another con for me is, the lack of, I don't want to put stands up that are going to be stationary there on public because chances of them getting stolen are pretty high. Chances of your if you was running cell cameras, them getting stolen, that's pretty high.
We've had it happen to us a couple times.
There's quite a bit more cons than there is pros on public.
Yeah, but that's what the challenge is. That's why people love that, And I mean, I don't get how hunters do that. Go out and take someone's camera right off the tree. Like, people work hard. They work regular jobs every day, like us.
Yeah,
busting their tails to put
means.
cameras out there, and people go out there and just take their stands, take their stuff. Like, we have respect for hunters. We'll never, I don't get why people do that. Like,
yeah, it just makes no sense.
That's another con too. You already said that.
Yeah.
So I don't. But that's a bad con. Like, people go out and just steal their stuff right off the tree.
Yep. Or another con's probably leaving, shooting a big buck and having to leave them overnight. God, that would suck. I mean, we've done it.
You never know. We've done it a couple times. And
that's another con. But no, I think for me personally, I've seen a big transition from people that are, they may have 600 acres of all private, and it's funny, you don't see them really hunt that private.
Mm-mm.
They're more or less kind of like saving those. It's almost like they're growing those deer. Well, like now they can, now they're at the point where they're like, okay, well, I can start managing this property because I do have public.
Yep.
And, I can still kill a Pope and Young down here on public in Michigan. I mean, it's possible. You can do it. On public, private, public especially. You can
put enough time in.
We have Pope and Youngs, a ton of Pope and Youngs down here.
Yeah.
So you can get it done on public. But I've noticed over the last couple of years, since the hunting public has started kind of, pushing that public land challenge and letting people know, you don't have to have the most expensive bow or gear.
Yeah.
You can go and do it with a DIY
hunt.
DIY, yeah, basically just a cheaper setup,
just a budget setup, because there's a lot of people out there that work day to day, that doesn't have a whole lot.
Well,
and
you gotta think. I mean, hunting's it's gotten to a point with bows. I mean, bear bows are, they're $2,000 for a bear setup, just a bear bow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not getting any cheaper.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's crazy seeing a transition from people that were years ago we didn't really hunt no public.
No.
It was all just private. We didn't really pay too much attention to public. And now I've seen a big jump where people are saving their private piece and not hunting that till rut or
vice versa.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's just crazy. I've seen a lot more people just hunting public, which
is awesome.
I get it because it is it's a challenge and it's fun. It's rewarding. I get why people want to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's always the bad too is if you go out and say you've been hunting a spot for a couple years, you've been hunting this buck for a couple years, you might hunt that buck, when he's 2, and then you might wait, pass him up, hunt him when he's 3, he's not ready, let's wait till he's 4, it's hard to do that on public because a lot of them guys are going to take that buck out when he's 2 years old.
Yeah, I think that, and that's another thing. It's hunting public. Like you don't have that ability to really manage. You can't manage deer.
Yeah.
So if you do see if there's a lot of people in Michigan, I guess I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for everyone else, but a lot of people that I hunt with, they're not hunting older age class deer.
No.
If someone sees a 2-year-old or 2.5-year-old that is 125, 130, he's getting shot. I mean, that's just what it is. Yep. Unfortunately, I know at 3 or 4 years old, he could be 160, 170.
Yeah.
But at that age and that class, down where we're at, yeah, he's getting shot.
Oh yeah.
So and I think that's another con to public.
That's
you can't really manage. You can't manage the deer herd.
Yeah. But we're kind of being a little better on that.
Yeah, just being a little more picky.
But
I wonder. So I'm curious. What would like? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe even our viewers would even have some input on it. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you get to a point to where you're able to grow bigger deer on like a public grounds? Do you do a down here in Michigan? Do you do just one buck tag a year?
Yeah,
you can do be just a 1 buck tag state, or do you do like a do you kind of do like a you kind of you shoot a doe and it's like earn a tag, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we're not against it either. Shoot whatever you want, shoot what makes you happy. But we always do wonder, like, you know what I mean? How would you be able to grow them more or get them bigger? And I'm guessing you're gonna have to pass those bucks up at 1.5, 2.5. You know what I mean? 2 years old.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see it happening. But and not, and that's the thing is like where we're at. You're not gonna get a lot of those deer. Don't get to. They don't even make it 2.5 years old. So like, how would you?
It's really hard here.
What would you do? Like, what should the state do? Should they go to should it be just a one buck state?
Yeah, kind of like if you guys want to comment down below, and we can see what you guys think about it.
Yeah, give a little bit of your input. Think about it. What do you what you guys are thinking? But I mean, I'm still cool with having 2 buck tags. I mean, that's nice. I enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, I'm just planning. Thinking about like the future ahead. For all the other up and coming hunters. After all of us. What do you do? Do you switch over to that, or how do you continue to grow bigger deer?
Yeah.
On public.
And there's going to be a lot of opinions on that. Some people are going to say don't do that. Some people are going to say whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we can talk about that RV that we're about to be hunting in.
Oh yeah, the RV. Yeah, so we got a RV that we're gonna be turning into our little hunting. A buddy of ours has it, and he's gonna be letting us use it, taking it out of state on hunts that we're gonna be going on. So that'd be fun.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That'd be a blast. But man, I want to talk about that buck that I had on camera. Well, we had him on camera, and then I had him on film walking in on that public piece. That 10 point. That was 8. Sorry.
Was it?
8.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember we had the what was it? The 9.
Yeah.
It was a 9. Then we had the big 8.
Yep.
This 8 point, I swear, is probably 150 inch 8 point.
Yeah.
It was an absolute giant.
It was a mega.
And then there was another one that I seen that I swear he was in the 160s. Also have him on camera, have him on film, caught him, driving it down the road.
Oh yeah.
Threw in some cell cams, and them were some big boys. And man, still looking for those sheds. Still haven't found those sheds.
It's always crazy too.
But they did make it through the year because at the end of the year I ended up seeing them.
Yep.
So right off the side of the road. So I know they made it, which I'm super super stoked for that.
I just always think it's crazy too, like how those bucks managed to make it that far, make it to that size, or that caliber of a buck. Like how, like, you know what I mean? I always think about that.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to see a buck get from, because in Michigan, like it's hard. People are gonna shoot them 2-year-olds and stuff. How do them bucks be able to get by those hunters?
Yeah, I mean, well, like we talked to Kyle before, like he said, you're pretty much, less is more, and what you're doing is you're pretty much like once you start once you figure out a deer's core area,
Yep.
and the more time you spend in there, you're pretty much just educating that deer. And, and you're taking him to school, and now he's a student, and you're pretty much teaching him what you do.
And he's just studying.
And he's just studying you this whole time.
Yeah.
So then once he hits 3 or 4 years old, I mean, he's got a master's degree.
He's got you down packed.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got you. He knows when you're coming in. He knows when you're leaving. He's got your scent. I mean, everything. And I guess, it is a little off topic. I mean, we can talk about scent. I want to talk about a little bit about scent control. I don't think... Personally, I don't think that there's a product out there that will ever beat a deer's nose.
No.
I mean, Scent Locker's great. Obviously, I spray off before I go in, of course. But I just don't think that there's any spray product. I don't think there's any kind of scent. I don't think there's anything out there that will beat a deer's nose.
Nope.
Point blank, period.
It's not. That's impossible. So.
Yeah, I mean,
that's impossible.
Well, I mean, I've had the best of the best. I've used the... I've used this scent locker before, and I've been busted numerous times. I mean, I've used different sprays, different, remedies of scent controls.
We've done a bunch of different strategies, and we've just been busted.
You're not beating a deer's nose.
Especially a big, we're talking about big, mature, booners and big.
I mean, you might beat that 1.5-year-old 6 points nose, but you're not a 3.5-year-old 10 point
or 4.5 or
3.5-year-old deer. They no matter how many.
Yeah,
points
they're gonna get you. They're gonna catch you.
So but I don't know. I'm super excited for this year. Really stoked. We actually we're gonna be doing a lot of shooting and stuff. Also, are we gonna be going to the
we got some
total archery challenge?
I don't know.
This year up in where's that at exactly?
I don't know.
Crystal Mountain here in Michigan.
Is it Crystal Mountain?
It's Crystal Mountain, I'm pretty sure. So
we might be.
We're thinking about getting a couple guys together, going up there and shooting up there at the Total Archery Challenge. Fun. And we've never been. This would be our first year. So if anybody's ever been there in Michigan or anything, just let us know. What to expect. We're super excited for that this year.
Yep. And we got some bow shoots though coming up here.
Yeah.
We're right in our local area. We got some bow shoots coming up, and it's gonna be exciting. So we can do some videos on that too.
How many bow shoots did we go to last year? I think we made almost every other one.
I think Yep. We might have missed like a couple.
Yeah, might have missed a couple, but that was a blast too, and just for me, it helped me out, got me in shape, up and down the hills, and
and it also helps you with target panic.
Yeah, no, I agree.
When you're out there shooting, I was really bad with target panic. I've actually been really good over the years though. I've gotten a lot better with that. I've always been that way, where I've always been right when I pull my bow back, I just always punch the trigger. So I figured that out, just put my hand on that trigger and just barely squeeze. Just breathe, let it go.
Yep. But and I know it's a little off topic, but we figured we'd get into that a little bit. But no, so that's a few of the pros and cons for public.
Yep.
Obviously, I know I enjoy hunting public. I know you enjoy hunting public.
It's always a talk about it. It's always fun to talk about it.
We do have that up-and-coming hunt down in Ohio. Sounds like it'll be you, me, Dad, and possibly another one of our buddies.
Yeah.
We'll be leaving, September 27th?
Yep.
Opening day is Dad's birthday?
We'll be down there on the 27th of September. Opening day down there is my dad's birthday.
28th September.
So hopefully he can get a buck. A birthday buck would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's 2 days after my birthday, actually.
That would be awesome. So
that'd be sick.
We were going to go down there for 8 days, but I think we're just going to go down there till
We're doing 5 days.
Are we doing 5? So we're going down there till the 3rd?
Oh, no. So we're hunting the 2nd. We're hunting from the 20th or 8th to the 2nd. So it's 5 days. Yep. So we'll come back that night and then finish out the few days here in Michigan.
Yep.
And then trying to knock them down. So, yeah, we're super excited. Super stoked. Also, we did get some. We are getting some hats made as of right now.
Yep.
Some Buck Brother podcast hats. Got some T-shirts, long sleeves, and sweaters being made.
So we'll be getting that done soon.
So we'll be having some merch up and ready. And then anyone that is subscribing to our YouTube channel, you have to be subscribing to our YouTube channel and following us on TikTok. And if that's the case, then we will be doing a free giveaway of free hats. So Well, yeah, free hat, shirt, or sweater.
Like a little
hoodie.
bundle or something.
Yep. Some kind of little bundle. So.
And also, guys, if give us your guys' opinions on that. The pros and cons. What do you think? There's probably a lot more than what we said. So, give us your opinions on that.
Yeah, we definitely would like your guys' feedback as much as possible.
It'll also help us too.
It helps us out too. So we do like the feedback, and then if you guys can also just give us some feedback. We are trying to answer all of the messages.
Best we can.
On YouTube, if people are commenting on there, we try to answer those quick as possible. And then same for TikTok.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Thank you to all the supporters and followers on TikTok and YouTube once again. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.
Catch you guys later in the next one.